Oh.
We needed the. Where was the woo? I know. Where's the woo? We needed the woo. Anyway, there it is.
Gosh, it's too early to.
I know.
It's never too early.
Joining us right now in studio, this is a real treat. We're pretty excited. We have WWE Divas, Charlotte and Becky Lynch in the house. You guys are in town for Monday Night Raw tonight at the Valley View Casino Center, which is going to be really cool. But we were marveling at you guys, being that you were just in LA last night for Hell in a Cell, and you're here in the morning already. You guys, the schedule you guys have must just be incredible.
You get used to it.
Do you?
Yeah. When you love what you do, it's worth it.
Yeah. I mean, this is a big deal, obviously. You know, Charlotte, you coming from the family that you come from, if people don't know, you are Ric Flair's daughter.
Oh, wow.
I don't know how anybody wouldn't know that.
Hello.
I was gonna say the last name seems familiar.
Yeah. And so, you know, growing up, you saw your dad, or maybe you didn't see your dad, you know, the schedule that he was in, and it still led you to go and do this side of the business. Did you just, like, you were born to do this, right?
I appreciate now what he did.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And I'm like, what do you? No, Dad, come to my volleyball game. What do you mean? I mean,
Right.
I definitely
It had to
a
be
new
tough
level
growing
of
up, right?
It was.
Yeah.
Mixed blessing.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, your dad is one of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest of all time.
I think so too.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if there's a Mount Rushmore of wrestlers, he's the first guy I'm putting on it. And so you grew up that way, and did you at any point think to yourself, that's something I want to do, or did you think that's something that, like, yikes, that's something I never could see myself doing?
Well, like you said, because he did pave the way and was so well known. You don't grow up wanting to be, you know. I saw my brother struggle wanting to be in the same industry with someone that did so well. So no, I never said, oh, I want to be a professional wrestler. And especially back then, I, played sports. And I didn't look at myself as a diva. Not saying that, there was anything wrong that they weren't athletic, strong women. But no, not until a couple years ago. So like, maybe I should give this a go. You only live once.
Sure.
Wow.
And now I'm here.
That is crazy.
So.
That's cool.
And Becky, did you watch wrestling growing up? Because you're from Ireland, right?
Yeah.
And were you exposed to it over there?
So I was watching wrestling as long as I can remember. Me and my brother would always, play on my mom's bed, pretend to fight and everything like that.
Who are you?
You know what? I like to think.
Okay.
I can't remember.
Break it down.
I can't remember what my name was, but I remember having this furry vest that my mom had, like this waistcoat type thing, and I would come down to the ring, and I had a leather glove because she used to wear leather gloves to work. She was a flight attendant, and
was that for the claw? Or
that
what
was
is
for the claw.
Dude,
I like to think I did the mandible claw before Mick Foley.
Wow.
Right? And
Wow.
Okay, I was thinking Tyler Breeze before Tyler Breeze.
Wow.
Yeah, I was a prophecy. What can I say?
really
So anyway, then I stopped watching wrestling for a couple of years because I didn't think it was cool anymore.
Okay. Well, everybody kind of goes through that phase.
Yeah.
And then you grow up and you realize, oh, you never got out of it, Thor?
No.
Okay.
And then you realize how cool it is.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
And then so my brother used to watch it, and then I'd make fun of him. And I was like, hey, you're watching wrestling, or whatever.
Yeah.
But Mick Foley would be on, and I'd walk past him. Anytime he'd be on, he was just so sympathetic, and I would just get drawn in. And then I'd be like, call me when Mick Foley's on. And so then I'd come in, and then that's when I got hooked back in, and I was around 12 or whatever. And then I started training at 15.
15?
Wow.
Yeah, I lied about my age.
I was going to say, do you have to get, like, parental consent, or how does that work?
Yeah, well, I told them that I was 17 because you have to be 16, and I said, well, if I told them I was 17, then they might not ask.
There's no
for
gray
ID.
area there. Yeah, it makes sense.
But so there wasn't any wrestling schools in Ireland.
Yeah.
But Finn Balor, who's the NXT champion now, opened up the first wrestling school in Ireland. And I was expecting to go down and see this metropolis, this giant warehouse with a big sign outside and loads of wrestling rings, pretty much like we have in the Performance Center in Orlando. And I walked down and there was just 6 blue padded mats, and that was how I learned to wrestle.
Oh, boy.
Oh, wow.
That's it, huh? No ring? Nothing?
No ring for the first 3 months.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So you got to get down to the basics and stuff like that before you get to actually hit the ropes?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And how about you, Charlotte? Because, I mean, obviously with your dad, everybody kind of assumes, oh, Rick just taught you everything.
3 years.
Yeah.
I'm NXT homegrown.
Wow. So you, and that probably, I'm sure, helped you get in, right, with who your dad is? Or did you have to still show him what you can do?
It definitely helped me get in, but, they were really familiar with my athletic background. I mean, I played D1 college volleyball, so.
Wow.
No, it helped me get in, but once I got there, I think I just wanted to work that much harder.
Yeah. Show everybody. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not here just because
I
my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And it's a constant struggle.
Well, you're the champ now. So you talk about that for a second. I mean, what a huge accomplishment for you
I know, it
to
doesn't
come
feel
in.
real.
It's crazy. I mean, I'm looking at the belt right there. I'm like, wow, that's really cool.
No, well, I was with Seth at Wizard World this weekend, and
Seth Rollins?
Seth Rollins,
Okay.
and I remember when I started at NXT, or FCW was
Yeah.
the name at the time in Tampa, he had just won the first NXT title, and I hadn't had a match. I didn't even know how to hit the ropes, and
Oh,
I'm
man.
looking at him like, oh my gosh, what did I get myself into? And then we're both sitting there, him as WWE, heavyweight champion, me as the Divas champion. I was like, what 3 years can, make a difference?
Right? That's crazy.
I've been watching wrestling a long time, and my favorite part of wrestling has always been promos. Like when Stone Cold cut his famous promo, or CM Punk's big pipe bomb promo. What's harder for you guys? Is it learning how to do a promo, or is it learning how to wrestle?
Well, for me, it's wrestling, because I'm probably not the most naturally athletic person. Like I failed PE before I started
Oh, Lord.
wrestling.
Is that possible? You can fail PE?
Yeah, I didn't think it was.
I didn't even know.
The first.
Well,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Well, I just refused to run. I'd stand there with my hockey stick and just,
Yeah.
refuse to run. So I guess that's why I failed.
Yeah.
But anyway, so for me,
awesome.
I've always loved talking and everything like that. So that comes a little bit easier
Yeah.
to me. But Charlotte, for example, is just one of the most athletic people I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, I mean, just you coming to the ring, Charlotte, you're, doing cartwheels, you're doing splits, you're doing all these
Awesome.
and I'm like, oh my gosh, you haven't even done a move yet, and I'm already like exhausted. Like that just comes naturally to you, or?
The athletic part does.
Yeah.
The talking part doesn't. We worked with Dusty Rhodes
Yeah.
when we first got there, and he just the biggest thing was, bringing out how you really feel,
Right.
even if you don't believe in the words.
Which has to be tough too, because your dad, again, one of the greatest
Well,
of
the
all
best
time.
characters are, kind of extensions of yourself.
Like
Yeah.
ants,
Yeah,
right?
so when I first got there, I was like, what is Charlotte? Is she just Ric Flair's daughter? Does she woo? Does she not woo? Does she do the figure four? Does she not do the figure four? And I'm like having like
pressure!
What do I do?
Yeah.
I can flip, but like he said, you don't, when you think of Stone Cold and you think of the greats, you don't think, wow, Ric Flair really had a great headlock takeover.
Yeah, no.
No, you think of his promos.
Sure.
So for me, that was the biggest part, especially because I was scared to, perform in front of an audience.
Yeah.
That's
nerve-wracking.
that's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even so. No, I just have worked on it. The Performance Center has everything or every tool to get better. We have these confessional rooms, and I think I was the worst at it.
Oh, no.
Becky was probably the best.
Oh, good.
Yeah?
She could talk forever.
Gift of gab, that's huge.
Aw.
And so when you finally made the choice to say, all right, I'm going to embrace my inner Flair.
I did it until my match until I had my match with Natty for
Okay.
the NXT Women's Championship.
And so then was it your choice, or did the higher up say, you got to do more Flair stuff?
No, it just kind of evolved for me naturally. They just kind of let me take my own path, but they didn't want me to use his stuff at first just because of the pressure and people
I mean, it's cool.
comparing me, but now it's kind of be you.
Yeah.
So don't I overthink things. So they're just like, be you.
Yeah.
But instead, I took the figure four. I tried to add my own spin to it.
Right.
Adding the chops or the big knee drop. So I just kind of try to add a different version of
Yeah,
his
which I
moveset.
think had to be a big problem You mentioned your brother earlier, David. I remember when he got in the business, that was tough for, I'm sure, probably because
It was
of
really tough,
that.
and he had no wrestling experience.
Yeah.
WCW,
Did they just kind of
hired
throw
him
him
and
in
they're
there?
like, "Oh, you're Flair's kid. We can just label you as that."
Oh,
And then
wow.
it was, he didn't learn till afterwards, and then he went to England for a while.
Wow.
My coach at the PC Norman even worked with him in England, but no, it was hard. And I think he has a lot of regrets.
I bet.
So.
And to that point about being Flair's kid, is there a lot of jealousy sometimes in the locker room that, oh, you've only been in wrestling for 3 years, you're Ric Flair's daughter, and that's why, or how do you, like, it must be added pressure on you, right?
How do I answer that? Definitely when I first got there, but
You're proving yourself now, I think.
well, the group of girls that I came in with, no, I mean they know how bad I want it, they know how hard I work, so I think it's just proving it to others.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Becky? Do
Charlotte-
you want to get her a little bit because she's just Flair's kid?
No,
No.
you know,
She's
Charlotte,
like, no.
I'm starting problems between.
Way to go,
And he's
Eddie.
a promoter.
Yeah, so
no, I will say, she works, like, she's got an unbelievable work ethic, and she never does want to just get over because of who her dad is. She's come in from she was here a year when I got signed, and always so helpful, always wanting to bring all the other girls up and encourage everybody, which is, what I think this whole Divas revolution, if you want to call it that, is about,
I think everybody's calling it that.
Yeah.
Becky.
Oh, I thought she just coined it.
Yeah, dude, are you the one that came up with it? I don't know.
So yeah, she's always worked hard to prove herself.
That's awesome.
And
CB.
Yeah.
Not PCB, CB.
Yeah. Is that officially done? Is Paige out?
Oh,
That sneaky snook. What's
we
up
just
with
kind of
her?
let her have her mood swings.
Okay. Yeah.
BSPC.
Yeah. That's fine.
In CB, PCB.
It'll work out.
Yeah.
It'll work out in the end. What happens if you two guys ever get in there together?
Oh. Dang, Eddie.
Look at me.
Wow, way to make it.
I would be
I know, I made it really uncomfortable.
She deserves the title shot.
At some point, we're gonna see
As
this
much as I
happen.
love having her as my partner, but
Yeah.
I know what she's here for.
Atta girl.
Dang.
I like it. I want to see it. Becky, at one point in your career, I heard that you got hurt really badly.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Well, I got hurt and I left the business for 7 years.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Of wrestling for longer, twice as long as I had done it. So I did it from when I was 15 till 19.
Yeah.
And I traveled the world and wrestled in Japan and America and Canada, and then there was just this area of my life where I got lost, and then I was lost and I was mixed up and I didn't know what to do and I didn't know where to go, and I was 19 and what am I going to do with the rest of my life? Am I going to get into WWE? Well, they want me, this, that and whatever. And so anyways, I ended up living in Orlando doing a personal training course, not being able to drive and stuck in this little tiny apartment and going, what am I doing?
You couldn't drive because you did not drive in America, or?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And
I
I
was like,
didn't-
not the injury, right? Like,
No,
that'd be
and I
weird.
didn't realize that you needed a car in Orlando. I'm very bad at not researching things. I'll just
Okay.
like, go places and hope for the best.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Normally it works out.
Sure.
That time,
Not so much.
So I took a 7-year break and I did
Wow.
everything. I did absolutely everything. I was a personal trainer. I was a
Flight
flight
attendant.
attendant. Was a bartender in New York. Went back to college. This little thing in the back of my head. You're not doing what you're meant
You're
to do.
supposed to do.
Yeah, and but I felt like I'd burned bridges. I felt like I'd lost my opportunity, and I had to learn to accept how to be without wrestling. And it was honestly like a death to me.
Wow.
And I really didn't know how I'd ever get back here. And the fact that I am here,
Yeah.
it's just, I count my blessings every day. It's a miracle.
What was it like the day that you guys both? Because you guys kind of both debuted on the main roster at the same time. What was it like when you got that news? When you got that call that you're like, hey, you guys are going up to the big leagues now? Was that a pretty big deal?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I don't think we really believed it until we were at the arena.
Yeah.
Because things changed so much, so it was definitely, you're gonna debut. So we just kind of leaned on each other and just waited till actually.
In front of like 15,000 people, or talking to Vince and Triple H about where you're gonna go, or meeting Undertaker, like you're meeting these legends.
I watched it from as long as I can remember. So meeting these people and these heroes, and we were on tour with The Undertaker and watching him walk from Gorilla to outside. I was like, well, obviously Charlotte's grown up in it, but for me, I'm like, how did this happen? How is this real life? I'm just this girl from Ireland, and I'm here, and there's The Undertaker, and he's walking out, and this is Mexico, and what's going on? It's amazing.
Yeah.
But I think for me, I find it, for some reason, I found it more nerve-wracking in NXT with a small crowd than I do in front of 15,000 people.
Because you can kind of like hear that crowd, right?
Yes.
And hear what they're saying rather than a massive just noise, which is 15,000 people. But when it's, you know, just kind of hundreds of people, you can kind of hear stuff, right? In the crowd, which has got to be uncomfortable maybe a little bit.
Uncomfortable, but good, but maybe a bit more pressure.
Okay.
Because, you can hear what everybody's saying, and if there's one comment, you're like, oh.
Wait a minute. I tried really hard on that move.
I get a shirt.
Thanks, buddy. It's all flip-flops.
Yeah, well, you guys are awesome, and
Yeah.
you've had an amazing start to your career, and congratulations on the success.
Heck yeah.
And good luck tonight at Monday Night Raw.
Thank you so
The
much.
Valley View Casino
Thank you
Center.
for
It's going to be
having us.
awesome. Yeah, and great match last night.
Oh, thank you. Can you see my nose right now?
Why, what's wrong with it?
It
Yeah.
happened in like the first minute.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah.
busted open pretty bad.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's my battle wound.
There you go. Oh, that's crazy. Did it hurt?
I just didn't want you to be like, dang, her nose is really big.
Aw.
Does it hurt?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
We're used to it.
All right.
We're used to
It's
it.
tough.
in Los Angeles still comes on in the morning.
That's right.
It's a
She
champ.
knows how to deal with it.
See? Oh, Becky.
Sorry.
You're hilarious.
I appreciate that joke.
Well done.
I'm surprised that was the first one, to
You
be
know,
honest.
seriously. Good stuff. Thank you, ladies. Appreciate it. If you need a costume idea for Boo Ball, you're going to want to stick around because we're going to give you